Rise and Energize Her morning show is brought to you by Mogul TV Global Network, the #1 streaming TV network for positive programming in the Mid-Atlantic. To learn how you can energize your business and brand with media, visit www.themogulchannel.com.
She's that uncommon wife, divine set apart. Moves with that power, yeah, she leads with her heart. Soft, but she's solid, love wrapped in light. Black woman magic, yeah, she shines so bright. She knows her words.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Affirmative Action. If you're new here or been following us for a while, this is not the affirmative action associated with discrimination, but where we affirm the actions, highlight and talk about those in our community and abroad who are doing great things. As you know, for the month of April, we talked about everything wellness, mental health care, menopause, as well as today we're going to talk about skincare and some things that we could be doing as we prepare for the summer months and this heat going up to 80, 90 degrees and above. And so today I am so excited to have Dr. Jessica Mercer-Bazemore, who is a dermatologist in Georgia, on with us today. And she is going to talk about some general skincare as well as give us some tips for the heat.
Hi, and thank you for having me.
Hello, Dr. Mercer-Bazemore. Thank you for taking out time today. I know you have a very busy schedule to be with us. So I just did a brief introduction for our viewers, just telling them the field that you're in. But I'm going to give you this moment to just tell us a little bit about yourself and your practice area and what things you specialize in.
Yes, I'm Dr. Jessica Mercer, and I practice in the Atlanta area with 4 locations around Metro Atlanta in Brookhaven, Snellville, Loganville, and Brazelton. And I am a board-certified dermatologist and dermatopathologist, so I also microscopically study hair, skin, and nails. And my field primarily consists of general medical dermatology, aesthetic dermatology, surgical dermatology, dermatopathology, and I have a special interest in hair loss disorders.
Wow, that is actually very amazing. So tell us, what are some of the what does a day look like for you in your practice?
So very interesting and very busy, and not one day looks the same. So I see patients in clinical management of patients, and I also am involved in the business side of the practice. Like I said, I do some microscope work. And so my patients keep me on my toes, and I have a wonderful staff to help to assist me with that.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about the various type of skin procedures or treatments that you offer in your practice.
Yeah, so some of the treatments that I offer in my practice, really trying to help patients look their very best and feel their very best, because when they look their best, they feel their best. And so we offer injectable procedures such as botulinum toxin, also known as Botox, filler injections, so injections to help different skin lines and jowls. And then we also offer through our aesthetics department different aesthetic procedures, including chemical peels, microneedling, laser procedures.
Okay.
Now, also as part of my medical dermatology practice, I do skin cancer surgery. In addition to skin cancer surgery, I'm also performing surgeries on benign lesions such as cysts and lipomas. So that's a pretty broad practice for me.
Great. And that is very interesting and good to know, because a lot of people, hear dermatologists and they kind of focus just on skincare, but you guys have a very wide range of different treatments or services, or like you say, how you can help individuals, your patients, look and feel their best. So earlier in your introduction, you talk about about also with hair and nails. Just give us a little bit about what that treatment looks like or what the various treatments you offer.
Yes, so I see a lot of hair loss patients. In fact, there are many hair loss conditions that are seen in greater numbers in women of color. And so I specialize particularly in those. So scarring types of hair loss, also autoimmune hair loss. And so, and I'm happy to go in as much detail as you'd like, but there's, this is almost like a public service announcement because I see it so commonly in Black women, but there is a condition and it's called CCCA. That's probably the most common type of hair loss that I see in my practice. And so CCCA is a very long medical term, but I tell patients the name actually describes the condition and it makes sense. So the name is an acronym for central centrifugal cicatricial alopecia. Central meaning it starts in the central part of the scalp. Centrifugal implying that that area of hair loss can move from the center area of the scalp and spread out like a ring. Okay. And then cicatrix refers to scarring. And that's why it's so very important to treat early because it's a type of hair loss that can scar if it goes untreated. And alopecia just means hair loss. It doesn't mean that it's untreatable. You know, like I said, there are different prognostic factors, so different things that may alter the severity of that disease. But alopecia can be a treatable condition depending on time to treatment.
Wow. So that is actually some really good information. And do you have any staple like do's and don'ts that you would tell people? And I'm going to go through each category as far as the skin, the hair, and nails. As humans, we're all different. We have, different side effects. We grow up differently. We're in different environments. But are there any general do's and don'ts that you would advise people early on? Like, don't do this to your skin or don't do this to your hair?
So for skin, the number one thing that I would advise is sunscreen, and that's for all skin types. Because as dermatologists, like I said, we want people to look their best. That's what we specialize in. We are in the field of skincare and good and healthy skin. But it starts with prevention. And so, one of the myths that I want to dispel is that patients of color don't need sunscreen. Well, it's a myth because, yes, melanin in our skin can be protective against some sun-induced conditions like skin cancer. However, there are other things that the sun and UV radiation can do to break down the skin. It can cause discoloration, and that's one of the things that patients of color are oftentimes impacted by. So hyperpigmentations, and sun makes that worse. It can also break down collagen and elastic fibers. So that leads to wrinkling and aging of the skin. And so sunscreen is vitally important for patients of all skin types. So if that is the one thing that I want to go away with, it's that. And I tell my patients, just let it be part of your daily regimen. So you brush your teeth, you wash your face, you put on your sunscreen. You don't even consider what the weather is outside, whether it's snowing or whether it's raining, because UV comes through the clouds and it reflects off the snow and the concrete. So you just want to make sure it's just part of your daily regimen so you stay protected.
And that is some really good information because for myself, I do it a lot, use the sunscreen during the summertime, but other than that, I don't use it. So I'm going to start including that in my daily regimen of all 4 of the seasons.
Yes. So find a moisturizer that you like that has the SPF already in it. I say my day is like, you asked me about a recount of my day. It's a tornado in my house, right? So I like to really use products that have multiple purposes. So my moisturizer has a sunscreen in it and it has antioxidants in it. So it's one product that does all of the things, right? And so you just find one that you like, SPF 30 or above, and just make that part of your daily skincare regimen.
Okay. So listen, guys, you guys heard it directly from Dr. Mercer. We all will now be including sunscreen in our daily regimen. Jessica, and just briefly, what about hair or nails, especially for, now we do have a pretty wide audience, but I do find for a lot of times women of color, sometimes we don't know early on the do's or don'ts in regards to our hair and nails. So tell us, if you have any staples, what is your advice on that?
Yeah, so the biggest thing I will say about hair is that within the social media community, there's this word called protective styles. And so I consider it to be such a misnomer. And I say that because it has given a false sense of security to many patients that certain styles are protective and help their hair. But oftentimes they can be styles that contribute to different types of alopecia, such as traction alopecia. So some of these styles include braids and weaves. And so, I typically say I'm not against doing any of these styles. It's just like any other doctor would tell you, you want to do things in moderation, right? So it's not that you can't have a dessert, but don't eat, chocolate cake every single night. So Same thing with some of these styles that we've labeled as protective styles. So it doesn't mean that you should not do them, but do them in moderation. So you want to alter any tension on your hair. So if you're doing braids, you want to take those out after 4 to 6 weeks and then try a different style where you're not having tension in the same areas. So again, moderation is key when it comes to hair. And then nails, and I'm really kind of highlighting some of the trends and really how to go about doing those things safely. When it comes to nails, one of the things that I'll highlight is the light treatments to cure some of the nail products. So, and I get my nails done, and the regular manicure doesn't stay, so I've converted to SNS as a form of a manicure. But there are quite a few patients who may be allergic to acrylates. So if you notice any redness or itching of your nails, you might fall into that category. But also different gel nails involve exposure to a light to cure the nails. And so really there's a lot of controversy in that because some of that nail is very similar to the light that comes, some of those nail lights are very similar to the light that comes from a tanning bed. And so we know when it comes to tanning beds, those increase your risk of melanoma by 70 fold compared to the normal population who has not done those procedures and had that type of exposure. So, again, do things in moderation, but I certainly want to put a PSA out there about some of those hairstyles and also light procedures.
Right. So listen, ladies, we love to look good. I know we do, but we got to make sure we're doing it in moderation and in a way that we are, staying healthy and really protecting ourselves for real. And so also, Dr. Mercer, how much of what we put in our bodies or what you see with in your practice actually resonates or the word I'm looking for kind of manifest physically? How much of your practice do you actually tell patients about, don't eat this or eat this, and this will help or this will harm, even when it comes to the outer, parts of our body like the skin, the hair, and nails?
Well, I always say the skin is really just a window to everything that's going on the inside. So your skin will look its healthiest when internally you are your healthiest. So just like any of your other physicians might recommend, you want to eat a healthy, balanced diet. Again, things in moderation. So there's really nothing that I eliminate from my diet. I eat all sorts of proteins, beef, fish, chicken, pork. I eat all sorts of proteins, but again, doing those things in moderation, limiting fats and sugars and carbohydrates, drinking lots of water. So when you are your healthiest self, your skin reflects that.
Okay. Awesome. And so I know sometimes when we're getting dolled up or we're talking about hair cells, we're talking about nails, those are our outer things. But if we're not healthy on the inside, you can put makeup on all day. But when you take it off, you still want to have beautiful glowing skin. When you go take the acrylic or the gel off, you want to make sure that your nails are, just as healthy. And I think that's something that's really important for our society now, especially with so much social media that press looks. That we need to continue to remind people that it really starts from the inside out. And so I know you touched upon the sunscreen and making that a daily regimen. What are some more things as far as our skin, hair, nails that you maybe could suggest as we are preparing for the weather change? Or do you kind of feel like what you do in the winter, fall, spring, summer, it kind of stays consistent?
Well, there are some things that are consistent, but, one of the things that I'll highlight since we're talking about summer, you mentioned I'm in Georgia. So our nickname, specifically Atlanta, Hot Lanta, right? So we deal with the heat and humidity, especially as the summer approaches. And so one of the things that happens when you deal with heat and humidity is sweat. Well, what's the impact that sweat can have on our skin? So particularly the skin folds. So one of the common things that I see in my clinical practice is a condition that's called intertrigo. And intertrigo is a yeast rash that is seen more commonly in women in the skin folds. So under the breast, also under the belly, the pannus, we call it. So really trying to keep those areas as dry as we can as the heat comes. And so things that we recommend after you get out of the shower, make sure you're drying completely in those skin folds. Even if you need to use things like a warm blow dryer, not too hot, but a warm blow dryer to ensure that area is dry. There are also some antifungal powders over the counter that can be recommended for women who are very large breasted. Even using sometimes panty liners or other strips of cotton to keep that area dry so that it will absorb that excess moisture. Those are some of the things also that you want to be prepared for during the summer.
Okay, those are some really good tips and things that you, for most obviously women, we already have in the home. So that is good to know. Also, earlier you mentioned about skin cancer. So I know you do, and correct me if I'm wrong, you do participate in like community activities where you guys do skin screening, if that's the proper term.
Yes.
Tell us what does that all entail?
Yes. So I do that within the community for volunteer efforts, and I do that in my private practice as well. So a full body skin check, you come into the exam room and we get you completely undressed. And I'm literally checking your skin head to toe, starting with the scalp, feeling and examining your skin, your face, your neck, your trunk, extremities, and looking for different evidence of skin cancer. So the most common types of skin cancer are basal cell and squamous cell. And so basal cell and squamous cell may present as a pink or scaly spot or a non-healing area that bleeds easily. So I tell patients those are clues and you want to be on the lookout for those types of symptoms. Okay. So the type of cancer that we worry about the most is melanoma. And so melanoma typically is an irregular dark mole. And so we use a mnemonic A, B, C, D, E. Okay. So A means when you're looking at a mole, you want to look for asymmetry. If I look at both sides of the mole, do both sides look the same or do they not? So that could be a clue to asymmetry. B is borders. So you want your moles to be nice and round, not jagged or irregular. C is color. And so color, you want moles to be a solid uniform color. So if you have a mole that's multiple colors, part of it pink, part of it brown, much darker or even much pinker than your other moles, that's a real concern and you should bring it to a dermatologist.
Okay.
Yeah. And so to complete the mnemonic, D is diameter. So you want that mold to be smaller than a pencil eraser. And then E is evolution. So anything new, anything changing, you want to bring it up to your dermatologist. So, and perfect segue, May is actually Melanoma Awareness Month. So it's a perfect opportunity for us to be discussing this. So like I said, it can be an abnormal dark mole. Very rarely they may be pink. And melanoma, I mentioned patients of color and some of the unique things that, unique considerations. Well, we don't see melanoma on the skin as often. When we do see melanoma in those patients, the most common locations are the palms of the hands, the soles of the feet, and streaks in the nail. So, you want to definitely pay attention to those areas because not many people are looking at the bottom of their feet on a regular basis. Right. So you want to certainly be conscious of checking those areas. And if you have any dark streaks in the nail, especially a solitary, very dark streak, then that can be a real concern and you want to bring it to the attention of a dermatologist.
Wow, that is like literally amazing information. Can you give us that acronym again?
Yeah, so it's called the ABCDEs of melanoma. Okay. Asymmetry, border, color, diameter, and evolution.
Okay. Well, again, I wish we had more time. We are definitely going to have you on again one day in the future. And maybe one of these days we'll be able to host a virtual wellness summit and have, more time for us to really go into some detail, because I think these things are so important. And this information is important to get out to the community so that people can ask questions and people could know what to look for before it actually has fully manifested. And by the time they're at their doctor, they're coming to you, things could possibly be in a further stage or in a worse stage that it could have been had they known information or knew what to pay attention for and took some more preventive steps. So tell us one more time all of your locations, and if you have any social media tags, and your information also will be definitely pinned for people to be able to contact you who are in the Atlanta area or traveling down there who maybe want to stop by and visit or make an appointment. But just give us some of your contact information, please.
Well, yes, thank you so much for having me. And I'm very happy to share. My practice is Georgia Dermatology Partners, and I am Dr. Jessica Mercer with locations in Snellville, Loganville, Brazelton, and Brookhaven, just outside of Atlanta. I'm on social media as Derm Doctor, that's Dr. Jessica Mercer.
Okay. Well, Dr. Mercer, once again, we appreciate you for taking time out of your busy day and giving us such great information. And I definitely hope to have you on and talk to you again soon. Listen, we hope you have an amazing and wonderful day. I know, like you say, your day is very busy, but we definitely, again, thank you so much for coming on today. So,
my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. So everyone, listen, you heard some great tips today directly from Dr. Mercer. If you're in the Atlanta area, please check her out. She gave us her social media info as well. And before I let you go, do not forget, May 24th, 2025, it is happening. The Know Your Right Summit in Norfolk, Virginia is happening. That information is pinned somewhere on this screen. And if it's not, you can always contact us and we will make sure that you get the information you need. But listen, we have an amazing startup team, an amazing line of attorneys that are going to be there. Come get your questions answered. We're going to have hot topics on divorce, child support, custody, employment rights. What can your employer do? What can't they do? Can they withhold your check? We're going to talk about issues and encounters with the criminal justice system, encounters with police officers. And we're also going to be talking about IP and intellectual property things. You have an idea, a brand, a name, a logo. Where do you start? How do you get your application done? Who do you send it to? Right there on May 24th of 2025, the Know Your Right Summit is coming your way. We definitely hope that you could join us and we'll be providing more information. Well, everyone, I hope you have an amazing and wonderful Wednesday. Continue to do whatever it is that you need to do to stay positive, keep yourself hydrated, keep yourself healthy, and keep your mental stability on point. Stay grounded and have a wonderful day and week.
every challenge. She's
Good morning and welcome back to Girl Get Up and Wash Your Face, where instead of focusing on the pain, we are diving into the good news, the victories, the progress, and the hope that comes with healing. Today, we are talking all about the body. Last week, we talked about resetting the mind, and today we are talking about the body. How do we renew and take care of our bodies? So a lot of you may not have known, but in my earlier years of coaching, I used to be a health coach, and I still am a health coach. I would say my niche has changed a little bit from focusing on the body to more focusing on emotions. But as a health coach, I am always going to advocate for holistic healing. So today I'm talking only about the body and how we can renew and bring joy back to our bodies, because guess what? Our bodies get beat up when we go through it. When I say that, I'm talking to the emotional eaters out there, those who sometimes lose control when it comes to how they're eating, when they are eating, what they are eating. And food can actually become an enemy to us when we are not eating in portions, when we are not eating the right foods, such as fruits and vegetables, when we're not moving our body. If you don't move it, you're going to say, if you don't use it, you lose it. And it's kind of the same thing with our bodies. If you do not move your body begins to become stiff at the joints, and it hurts to move your body. So we're going to talk about foods that we eat. We're going to talk about moving our body, and we're going to talk about hydration, because water is so important. So let's first talk about the foods that we eat. When it comes to food, we really need to reduce our sugar intake, our salt intake. So those junk foods, it's not good for us. And if you are over the age of 40, let me just tell you, our bodies, where our metabolism used to be high as a teen and in our 20s and even in our 30s, when we hit our 40s, our metabolism slows down so much. So you really have to find the rhythm of your body. So when it comes to eating, we might have been able to eat whatever we wanted to back in our 20s and 30s, but we cannot do that anymore. So I had to cut out bread. I had to cut out white rice. I had to cut out sugar. I am now on a high protein, low calorie diet because the skinny girl Dana can't eat what she wants to eat anymore. And when I did eat when I want to eat, guess what? My stomach will bloat like just eating a white rice or a bean. And beans are supposed to be good for you because it's full of protein, but my body does not receive beans really good at all. So paying attention to your body, those food sensitivities, okay? So it's really good if you can journal and take notes of the foods that you eat so you can know what your body can tolerate and what it can't tolerate, okay? So when it comes to the body and movement, I've started to go to the gym, and I realize Zumba classes, Mixed Fit, those fun classes where you're just dancing and moving, and I'm not taking away from the benefits of those types of classes, but it wasn't bringing change to my body. I wasn't seeing any type of transformation with it. So I started doing lifting weights, doing strength toning, dumbbells. Your girl is bench pressing, okay? Because I had to do something different for my body. What works for one person may not work for the next person. But I really do want to encourage you to get outside, enjoy this nice spring weather, and go for some walks. Walking outside, you can never go wrong with walking. But I will say, I'm going to keep it real with you. You can go wrong with the pace of your walking. So if you're asking yourself, why am I not seeing any change? My body, I go walking every day for 10, 15 minutes a day, then it may be the pace that you're going. or you may need to increase your walking time. Honestly, you should be getting about 10,000 steps in a day. And I promise you, it sounds like a lot because it is a lot, but that's what our body needs. That's what we need. So you got to move your body. But any type of movement is better than no movement at all. So if you do need to go to those Zumba classes, if you do need to go to the dance classes, by all means, do it because your body is screaming at you, telling you to get up. Get away from the TV, get away from social media, TikTok, Facebook, and just move your body. And if you don't want to go outside or go to the gym, get a hula hoop, get a jump rope, get some workout equipment that you could put in a home gym and just move your body, okay? And then the last thing I want to talk to you about is the hydration, okay? Hydration is so important. The water that you drink, okay? You should be drinking about half your water, half your body size. So if I weigh 160 pounds, then I should be drinking about 80 ounces of water a day, because we are made up of about 60% water, 60% water. So we are made up of 60% water. We got to make sure we are replenishing ourselves. We are hydrating ourselves. Spring is about renewal. And there's nothing that renews your body more than water. Your body is made up of water. So we need it. Drinking more water is going to give you the energy levels, the digestion. If you're having bloating issues, water can help you with that. It can help your skin to glow. It can give you mental clarity. So pick up that water bottle, take it with you to work, and remember to drink water. And if plain water isn't your thing, try infusing it with lemons or cucumbers or mint, or just a refreshing twist to it all, okay? So water, move your body, and eat nutritious food. The goal isn't to restrict yourself, but it's all about nourishment. Nourish yourself. And when you feel your body well, you're going to feel well. You're going to feel better. And I can't forget about sleep, because your girl loves to sleep. I don't get naps in, so I got to make sure I go to bed at a decent time. So make sure you go to bed, you get your sleep, because you need your beauty rest. Like, that is like really for real, getting that beauty rest in. So here's your action step for this week, or action steps. Make sure you drink your water, 50% of your body weight. Take a daily walk or move your body in any type of way you can. And then swap that one unhealthy snack for something nourishing, like pecans, walnuts. Greek yogurt is really good. I just started eating cottage cheese. I just always felt like that was for old people, and your girl eating cottage cheese now. But whatever you commit to, that'll be something that's going to help lead you to a big result, because small steps leads to big results. So girl, get up and wash your face, and thank God that you get another chance to rise, reclaim, and renew your strength. I will see you next time. Don't you forget, we are spring forwarding, okay? If that's even a word, but we're going to spring forward, and we're renewing our mind, our body, and our spirits. Until next time.
In the face of every challenge, she stands.
Hey baby, I'm just gonna check in on you. How's everything going?
Hey Mom, everything's good. Are you headed to meet the new client?
You know it. I have a feeling they're gonna like what I have to show them today.
Well, then I know you're gonna kill it. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you, baby. I love you too. I'll talk to you soon.
Deborah Jones is back in the news again. I've got to say, she's got some ego.
She's way too aggressive.
The risk she takes in this market, you wouldn't catch me doing that.
I've seen more humility in a peacock.
Who does she think she is? Deborah's integrity and honesty shine through in every transaction.
Her dedication to the client is unmatched.
She is really a visionary. always one step ahead in the market trends.
You'll never work with a more dedicated and resilient agent.
I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you.
Hi, I'm Deborah Jones, broker owner of Dominaire Realty. My mission is to elevate your real estate experience through personalized solutions guided by integrity. So call me. Now is your time to shine.
She's a queen, she's a crown, she's a backbone strong. Soft hands, open heart, where you know he belongs. Grace for her man, yeah, she covers and grace. Built for the storm, but still moves with grace. She's the calm in the fire, the peace in the fight. Holds them down strong, but keeps it real light. Got that Proverbs glow, yeah, she walks in the light. Ain't just his whip, she's his whole appetite. She's that uncommon wife, divine set apart. Moves with that power, yeah, she leads with her heart. Soft, but she's solid, love wrapped in might. Black woman magic, yeah, she shines so bright. She knows her worth, she knows her call. Stands in the gap so a king don't fall. Speaks life, not fear, she's the voice he trusts. Built on faith, yeah, her love is just. She's the
All right, so welcome to Healthy Chats with your host, Carleeka Basnight-Menendez. Yes, all of that. And today we're going to be talking about managing pollen allergies. Spring is in the air. I don't know about you all, but all of the things when you go in Lowe's, all of the amazing, beautiful flowers and things to get your yard and your gardens and everything just looking so beautified after fall and winter seasons are passing by us. But I don't know about you, but I know here pollen is crazy right now, but we know allergy season is coming upon us, and for some we're already seeing pollen. But here are some ways that you can manage that pollen and during allergy season. So typically the peak times for pollen is in the morning. And I know that might be a little difficult because I'm saying stay indoors during those peak times, but I know we're in transition, going from the car, going to work, taking kids to school, all of the things. So, you know, those masks that we were wearing and some of us still wear as we're in the airports and things, I find that putting on a mask as I'm going out, or if I'm going to be outside for an extended period of time, like blowing, or I don't really do yard work like that, but I sometimes will go outside and use the blower, right, to blow the debris or different things like that. Don't ask me for any tips on that because, like I said, your girl don't work in the yard like that, but you can stay indoors during those peak times. And on windy days, right? Keeping your windows indoors closed. Another thing is invest in high efficiency particulate air filters for your home that's going to help clean your air, and using them in your air conditioning system. And this will help trap the pollen and improve your indoor air quality. I also find that air purifiers, and if you need a humidifier at night, just the change in season is messing with your nasal passages. We're finding more respiratory with breathing and headaches and different things. Check the air quality in your home. Then shower and change clothes after you come out from outside. Have you ever told your kids, like, oh, you smell like outdoors, right? Well, after spending time outside, go ahead, shower and change immediately. And this is going to remove any of the pollen particles that may be on your body that you don't even see. I went out on our patio the other day, and the glass table filled with pollen, right? I was like, I'm not even going to hit the cushions because I already know that pollen particles are there. And so this just helps reduce your exposure and prevents bringing pollen into your home. And we know that you're not going to alleviate all of it, but we're just giving some preventive measures and ways that you can improve and cut down on how much pollen you're actually tracking into your home. And so with that, I want to give you a few remedies for allergy symptoms, right? Because you're going to see an increase in people having runny nose, itchy eyes, more mucus, more congestion, all of these different things that come along for those who may suffer and deal with allergies. So a saline nasal rinse to rinse your nasal passages. Take a few squirts of that, and that can help clear out any allergens and reduce congestion. Now, none of what I'm saying is inclusive, so you need to know your body, know what's going to work for you, and these are just some tips that you can do that are more natural entities versus even taking some allergy pills, but you do what works for you, okay? Nevertheless, I love to inhale steam from hot water. So having that nice hot shower, and I love putting like the tabs, the eucalyptus tabs or something of that nature, lavender or whatever the case, in the shower as you're bathing and different things, just so you can open up your airways. And you can even do this with your over a hot cup of, hot water, right? Just inhaling. And I've even seen people put a towel over their heads and just inhale the steam, which you can add a few drops of eucalyptus oil. Once again, knowing your body, knowing what may trigger or affect you. You know what smells you like, dislike, all of those things. Once again, this is not an inclusive list, but this is just some tips. And so this may help relieve nasal congestion and soothe irritated airways, right? That's one thing a lot of times we don't even realize how much pollution, how many things just irritate our nasal passages and airways. And so that's a good way as well. Get some local real honey, right? Get some local real honey, and this can also help build immunity along with, over time, right? A small amount, see if that helps, but it can also help with soothing your throat. So one of my go-to drinks that I absolutely love is adding hot water, and to my hot water, fresh lemon and honey. And that is a whole mix for me, but you can also do your own ginger shots for immunity. And that's the thing, building your immune system and being proactive before the season even starts, right? And this is even for the winter where more people are susceptible to colds and different things like that. Go ahead, take things that's going to build your immunity up to fight against these things. Apple cider vinegar. They say, you can mix a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar in a glass of water and drink it, and it may reduce mucus production and relieve symptoms. And we know apple cider vinegar is good for so many things, right? Ginger tea. It has the anti-inflammatory properties, and so this can help alleviate allergy symptoms and soothe your throat. Now, my kids say I am a ginger fanatic. You all, when I do my green juices, and I have to share a video one day of my juicing, but I love juicing my green juice, but I love ginger. I just love the spiciness of it and different things. But nevertheless, you can make use some hot water, some ginger, lemon, and honey, and it makes a great mix, soothing. It's just really good, and I like to drink it first thing in the morning. Another thing, if you're a tea drinker like me, okay, peppermint tea. It acts as a natural decongestant. So drinking peppermint tea, including peppermint steam, can help relieve that sinus pressure. And a lot of times we feel it right up in here and get those sinus headaches and different things that are really just kind of just aggravating for a lot of us. And if you're into essential oils, I love having some lavender, lemongrass. I love peppermint, eucalyptus, whatever that may look like for you. And I love something with an orange scent as well. First thing in the morning, it just gets my morning and brightens me up and just gets my mind going like today is a great day. Puts you in such a happy mood and different things. And so essential oils, diffusing essential oils like lavender or tea tree oil can help alleviate allergy symptoms as well and improve your air quality. So get you a diffuser, get you some essential oils, and then start, helping improve the air quality in your home. They also have apparatuses for cleaning the air in your home as well. And so, look, this has just been a quick conversation. As I know, allergy season is coming. Spring is in the air. Okay, let me just say it that way. Spring is in the air, and these are just some tips and ways that you can prepare yourself, your home, your mind, your body. And this is just not a one-time thing, but when we're building our immune systems up, this is all year long. So I hope some of these tips help you. And if you have any other tips, share them with us, right? I want to know so that it may be something that I can implement myself and in my home and for my family as well. Nevertheless, hey, go back to wearing some of those masks. I know a lot of people don't like them, but they did work for me. And for me, working in the medical field, it's part of PPE, right? Your protective gear. And so as you're going outside, if you're going to be working in the yard, if allergies and pollen affect you, for some people it does not, but also stay hydrated no matter what you do. And I'll see you on another episode of Healthy Chats.